Sit down. Okay. All right. So you've got to understand that what I'm speaking and what I'm seeing literally create. Those two things, God said, and then he saw. You got to say it, and then you got to saw it. All right. I know it's not proper English, but there's a point I'm making when I say saw. When you say I saw something, it means that what I'm speaking, it's already in my past. If I saw something, that means that it already happened. Does that make sense? So you got to speak the goal, champion, sapphire, diamond, 8-figure earner, whatever it is. You got to speak that, but then you've got to now have seen yourself there. I saw myself where I am today. I saw it before it showed up. S-A-W, you take that backwards, W-A-S. I was an 8-figure earner before I became an 8-figure earner. I saw myself as a champion. I saw myself as a diamond. I saw myself as a 7-figure earner. I saw myself as a 6-figure earner. You got to hold that mental picture in your mind, regardless of, everybody say regardless. That's the word. Regardless of what takes place, I saw myself. I'm not going to change my address. I'm not going to change the address of where I'm going. I'm not going to change what I'm visualizing because of what I currently see in the physical. Because what I see in the physical is temporary, but what I see spiritually is eternal. The things that you see are temporary. They're fleeting. They change all the time. But what I see in the spirit, they're eternal. I see where it is that we're going. Now watch this. I don't know how. See, that's the problem for a lot of us, is we're so worried about how is it going to happen, Rodney? Sarah, how am I going to go diamond? You're talking about $100,000 in volume in a month? I can't see that. And see, watch this. Because you can't see it, you spoke it. And because you spoke it, you created the fact that it will never happen. Versus, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am a diamond. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am. And then you see yourself there. Never change the address, because I'm not worried about the how. Let me tell you something. I'm not afraid. I'm not ashamed to tell you, I don't have any earthly idea how we're going to do $100 million the first year. Anybody? Zero. But I know we will. I don't need to know how. What I need to do is believe. The how, the path will show up on its own if I don't change the address. That's the key. We're in February right now. We're in February. It's the second month, right? It's the second month. And man, we're going to do $100 million in sales this year. We're going to do $100 million in sales this year. Can you believe that? We're going to pay out $50 million in commissions. David, how is it going to happen? I don't know. All I know is that we're going to do $100 million in sales. All I know is we're going to pay $50 million in commissions. All I know is because I don't change that address, the right products, the right services, the right leaders, the right people, the right situations, the right decisions will be made, because my mind is the GPS, but my words give my GPS the direction. And as long as I don't change the address, it's going to get me there. Will there be some detours? Yes. Will there be some traffic? Yes. Will there be some accidents along the way? Absolutely. That's, I mean, that's part of the journey. Have you ever been on a journey and a detour showed up? Yeah. But didn't you still get to the destination? Have you ever been on a journey and there was some traffic? Yes. Are you still in that traffic right now? No. Traffic dies down at some point. All right. Has there ever been an accident on your way somewhere? Yes. And guess what? Everybody looks, and you know what causes the traffic? Everybody looking at the accident. That's what causes the traffic. Everybody's looking at the accident, right? But guess what? Everybody looks at it and keep going. Eventually, you get to where it is that you're going. Don't change the address. This month, I believe everybody on this call can at least be a champion. Now, look at this, guys. We got 77 people on this call, right? And let's just say everybody does champion volume. Okay. That'd be 385,000 in volume. Just think about that. Just think about that. We're talking about 5,000 in volume. If we can get 77 people on this call to believe for 5,000, we got this promo going on. How many of you excited about the Power 7 promo? Type 777 in the chat. How many of you pumped up about that? 20% the binary, 50% check match, right? 200 CV going into the binary, right? So you're telling me me and my team, we do 10 promo packs this month. The entire organization will do almost 400,000 in sales. You're right there becoming a triple diamond organization. You see how just a little bit of belief, look at what it creates. Just a little, everybody's looking at the big number. No, that's why we put champion at 5,000. We want you to become a champion this month. That's why I said, I don't care what your goal is, how big or how small it is. So if you left this call tonight, say, you know what, man? I'm going champion this month. I'm going champion this month. And then watch this. What happens when you teach 5 people on your team to go champion? Look at that. You're a Ruby. You have 10 people on your team to go champion. Look at that. Well, I'm an Emerald. You have 20 people on your team to go champion. Oh my God, I'm a diamond. But you move from faith to faith. See what I'm saying? You believe for champion, and then you believe to help somebody else go champion. Then you help to believe somebody else to go champion. Then you help somebody else go champion. And before you look up, by the end of the year, you got 20 champions in your business, and you're a diamond. You're a diamond. Making $15,000 to $25,000 a month. Hello. And it started with just believing that I can go champion. But you got to make that decision. I'm going to speak it every single day. I'm going to see it every single day. Now, here's the last part to believe in. I'm going to feel good every day. I'm going to feel good. I'm going to feel love. I'm going to feel gratitude. Meaning, I'm not going to be frustrated. I'm not going to be angry. I'm not going to be impatient. All right. I'm not going to allow any negative energy. I'm going to be positive towards my goals. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm a champion. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm a champion now. It happened this month. By February 28th, boom. My team, we did $5,000 in revenue this month. Man, I'm so grateful for it. Man, it's going to be exciting to know that I set a goal and we accomplished the goal. Now I've got the blueprint. Now I went champion. I could help 2 other people go champion. Now, guess what? I'm a sapphire. You know, I can help 3 other people go champion. Now look at that. I'm a ruby now. See, that's how it starts, guys. But you got to feel good. You got to come from a place of gratitude. You got to come from a place of love. You got to come from a place of peace. The right opportunities, the right situations, everything's going to come. You know, we're on pace right now to have one of our biggest months so far out of the first 4 months that we've been in business. Right now, we're on pace to do it. And then, man, watch what happens, guys. We haven't even really started yet. You know that, right? We haven't really started yet because the business doesn't really start until a major event. We haven't had a major event yet. Our major event is May 26th and 28th. It's our first one. What we did in Vegas was a launch. That was a launch event. Our first convention. How many are going? If you're going to be there, type alive in the chat. Type alive in the chat. And I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna give you guys a goal for this organization. Rodney, your team, 500 people, bro. 500. I believe there are 10 leaders on this call that would get 50 people there. You see how I thought about that? I'm gonna talk about that in leadership. Think about that. 10 leaders. Do we have 10 leaders that say, I'm gonna get 50 people there? Type 50 in the chat. If you're one of the 10 that say, I'm gonna get 50 people in my group at that event. Now watch this. You may say, well, I don't have 50 people right now. Don't speak that. See? Don't speak that. Speak, I'm gonna have 50 people there. 50 people on my team gonna be there. Well, you don't have 50 people on your team. It don't matter. I spoke it. I'm gonna have 50 people there. 10 times 50, what number is that? That's 500. Do you know what's gonna happen to this organization? You get 500 people to that event? Do you have any earthly idea what's about to happen? 500 people at the Alive convention? Bonkers, ladies and gentlemen. It is completely over. You're talking about going to a completely different stratosphere. That's the coming out party of our company. There are people right now, man, listen, there are people right now kicking themselves that they didn't get started with us in the beginning. I mean, they're looking at us right now like, man, those guys, they just make it look good. Yep, we do. But man, come alive? Oh, they ain't gonna have no choice but to get in. They're gonna be like, you know what, man, we can't even fight it, man. We just gotta be with y'all. We just gotta be with y'all. You know what? Right? 500 people. Set the goal. Start speaking that every single day. Sarah, come on. Rodney, you guys start speaking that every single day. 500 people, 10 leaders to get 50 people there. That's it. I promise you, the event's going to do what it's supposed to do. I guarantee you, the event's going to do what it's supposed to do. I'm telling you, it's going to be Believe Nation times 100. It's going to be off the meat rack. Okay? 3 things. Somebody put in the chat: words, images, emotions. You got to master those 3 things. I got to master my words. I got to master what I'm saying. I got to master my emotions. That's how you believe. Words, images, emotions. Words, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm a champion. Images, see yourself as a champion. All right? Take a picture of yourself with your hands up like a champion. Put it on your screensaver. Create the flyer. Matter of fact, here's what I want you to do. Create the flyer, the recognition flyer for champion. If your goal's champion this month, create the recognition flyer for champion. Put your face on it. Make that the screensaver on your phone. So now every time you look at your phone, you see yourself already at champion. Can you do that? Can you do that? And then when you see it, I want you to celebrate it. I want you to play some music and celebrate yourself at champion. We're going to have champions walking across the stage. But see, here's the funny thing. By the Alive convention, not only are you going to walk across the stage as a champion, you're going to walk across the stage as a sapphire. You're going to walk across the stage as a ruby. You're going to walk across the stage as an emerald. You're going to walk across the stage as a diamond. You know why? Because you went champion this month. Then you taught a few people to go champion in March. You taught a few people to go champion in April. You taught a few people to go champion in the month of May. All right? That's how you're going to get it done. Words, images, and emotions, ladies and gentlemen. Those are the 3 things that I've mastered. These are the 3 things that I continue to master. You know what, guys? At one point, I was using these 3 things to make 10 grand a month. It's the same 3 things I'm using right now to create a $100 million company first year. Same thing. Same mechanics. Doesn't change. All right? So that's believe. Leadership. 5 things I'm going to give you when it comes to leadership. These are the 5 things you got to work on every single day. Number 1, character. Character is number 1. Character is what shows up in the face of adversity. Are you a woman and a man of character? In the face of adversity, leaders show up. They're the first to say, I'm here. Let me do it. Let me help. Let me serve. I look for leaders that have great character. Number 2, Integrity. What's integrity? I can count on your word. Rodney knew David said he was going to be on the call at 8 o'clock. He didn't have to question it. He didn't have to worry. Is Dave going to make it? Can I count on Dave? Nope. He knew if Dave said he's going to be there at 8 o'clock, David's going to be there at 8 o'clock. If I can't be there at 8 o'clock, I'll let him know before 8 o'clock that I can't be there. But guess what? If I tell you I'm going to do something, that's the integrity of my word. If I tell you I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. You, as a leader, people will not follow you if you're not integral. If they can't count on your word, what can they count on? What can they count on? And do you know who you have to really be integral to? First, you. You got to be integral to you. I have a lot of integrity to me. And because I have a lot of integrity to me, I'm able to give that integrity to the rest of the world. So when I say I'm going to show the plan 5-6 nights a week, I've got to believe that for myself. I can't tell you to go show the plan 5-6 nights a week if I'm not showing the plan 5-6 nights a week. So character says I'm going to do it even when I don't feel good. Integrity says, because I gave my word, I'm going to do it when I don't feel good. Number 3, positive mental attitude. These are the things that I've had to work on. I've had to work on my character. I had to work on integrity because it's something you've got to work on, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't happen overnight. People are just not integral overnight. There's levels of it. You can get better character. You can get better as far as your word is concerned. Okay. Positive mental attitude. That's something you can work on as well. Here's a big one. Number 4, work ethic. Work ethic, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1 is what? Character. Put it in the chat so everybody's got it. 2, integrity. 3, positive mental attitude. Positive mental attitude doesn't mean I bury my head in the sand. Positive mental attitude says, what's the solution? I see the challenge. I see the problem. But what's the solution? What can we do? Okay, that's working. Let's do more of that. Okay, that's not working. How can we tweak it a little bit? Positive mental attitude to every situation. Okay. 4, work ethic. Where's your work ethic right now? As a leader, watch this. This is integrity right now. Can someone look at your calendar and say, yep, she's a leader? Can someone look at your calendar right now and say, yeah, I would follow him? Yeah. You say, well, man, why does David work? Man, he's traveling here. He's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing that. Because I'm a leader. It's simple. I am a leader. Guess what leaders do? They lead by example. That's what leaders do. They lead by example. And guess what, guys? I'm not looking for anybody else to do it. Stop looking for your upline to be the leader. You be the leader. Stop looking for your organization to be the leader. You be the leader. You be the leader in character. You be the leader in integrity. You be the leader in have a positive mental attitude. You be the leader as far as your work ethic is concerned. And then number 5, having a pleasing personality. Having a pleasing personality. This is key. You've got to be good with people, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to be good with people. You can't, you're not going to go far getting into tiffs, getting into arguments. It just doesn't work. I don't fight with people in my group. I don't try to make them do anything. If a person wants to listen, great. They don't want to listen, great. Doesn't make a difference. Does that make sense? I'm not going to get into a back and forth with anyone. Does that make sense? A pleasing personality. You got to recognize someone else's personality and then deal with them from that perspective. If I'm dealing with a red, someone who's very competitive, very driven, I'm going to deal with them on that level. If I'm dealing with a blue, someone who loves to have fun, the life of the party, guess what? I'm going to deal with them on that level. If I'm dealing with a yellow, somebody who's very, nurturing, very caring, guess what? I'm going to deal with them on that level. Someone's a green, very analytical, guess what? I'm going to deal with them on that level. Remember this. It says, be all things to all men. You've got to become a chameleon, ladies and gentlemen, meaning I can be all things to all men. It's not one size fits all. Leadership is not one size fits all. The way I would lead Rodney would be very different from how I would lead Justin. Where I would lead Justin is different from how I would lead Gary. Where I would lead Gary is going to be different from how I would lead Dr. Foster. Where I would lead Dr. Foster is different from how I would lead Lisa Nicole Cloud. Where I would lead Lisa Nicole Cloud is different from how I would lead Tracy Fisher. It's all different, ladies and gentlemen. They all have different personalities, okay? And you have to be ready. You have to understand their personality and work with them from that perspective. Guys, 3 and 5. These are 3 things I master when it comes to believing. And those are the 5 things I work on when it comes to leadership. If you do those 2 things, you master those 2 things, there's no amount of money you want to earn in this industry that you won't earn. None. All right. Want to leave some time for Q&A? Hopefully you guys were able to get some good stuff there.
Man, good stuff, man. That was another level. That's great, bro. That was amazing, bro. Man, that's good, bro. I mean, I hope you guys that are listening took plenty of notes on that. And I know, guys, that we have a few questions. I know in the chat we had a few people want to know a couple of things. So what I want you to do, guys, unmute yourself or raise your hand or ask it in the chat. Either way, it's all good. I know Diana had a question. I know Sarah had one. I think Kelly had one. Julie. So again, unmute yourself and just ask your question to Mr. David, and we'll start there.
Hi, David.
Hey.
Hi, thank you so much for your time tonight. I just have a quick question. I have someone who kind of came in with me in October as a founder, and life happened and just wasn't able to proceed for like the last 90 days, been inactive, and just recently called me to come back. And so my question is, as a founder, like, does he lose that 25%? Does he lose the benefits of being a founder? Like, once we get him back active, I wasn't sure how to help him with that, or that's kind of my question. I know.
Yeah, I believe he still would get the 25% in the binary, but one of the requirements for, I think you're asking about the 1%, was that they had to stay active. Okay. For that year. But I believe being a founder, the 25% would still be available.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Awesome. Who's next?
I'll go next.
All right, Cheryl.
Hey. I think you're muted.
Yeah, you're muted.
Okay, I'm good. Thank you so much, David, for taking time to share with all of us. I absolutely love your leadership and your heart. So I was just like great ear to ear, and I'm just so grateful for you. So I just had a question with our residual holding tank. I've been, placing people at the end of each month, but I'm wondering, like, can you hold people in there in the event that you have maybe someone come into your business that you really want to stack more people under them to make up that 50%? Or should we be flushing that at the end of each month?
I would flush it out at the end of the month. So if it's 10 days is what you have in order to place someone. So if you did sponsor them at the end of the month, I guess you would still have, the 30 days, the 10 days actually to place them in your holding tank, to place them in your residual tree. But every month I would make sure that my structure is right and no one is in my holding tank. That's what I would do every month.
Okay.
Hey, David. So quick question. So when you were in the field and you had a big event coming up and you had your team, like how did you necessarily build for the events? Like how did you build for the event? Like in its entirety, like far as your guests, people that's not in the company, people that's in your team, like how did you build for it?
So it depends on what the event was. So if we're talking about like the event we have coming up in Houston.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about alive.
Alive? Oh, okay.
Well, I'm talking any event, any event, every event.
Let's take the Alive event. First thing I would do is I would create a chat. I would create a chat of people that have already purchased their ticket to the event. All right. Because I wanted to gauge who was really coming. I wanted to gauge who was really on the team. And one of the things that I did was I invested into the event. Right. So I would purchase a certain amount of tickets. Right. Whether it was 10 tickets, whether it was 50 tickets, 100 tickets, I would write 6-figure checks. Right. But even before I would even get to that point, I would make sure that at every single presentation, every single sit down, every single team call that I was doing, I was promoting for people to get to the event. And what I was doing, I wasn't just promoting for them to get there. I was actually promoting how many people are you going to have there? So if you noticed on the call, what I said was 500 people. So I wasn't asking if Rodney was going to be there. I wasn't even asking if any of you were going to be there. I'm already assuming that you're going to be there. And what I'm saying is we need 50 leaders that say, I'm going to get 10 people there. Or 10 leaders that say, I'm going to get 50 people there. Either way you want to work it out. So I was giving goals. I was now sitting down with individual leaders and saying, okay, listen, if you want to explode your business, belief is a big part of exploding your business. And belief is really created where? At the big events. You know why? Because they're going to get those 3 things. They're going to get the right words because the right information is going to be shared. They're going to see all the testimonials. They're going to see all the results of what's happening in our company in the first 8 months, right? But most importantly, something is going to happen to them emotionally. They're going to cry. They're going to laugh. They're going to be jumping. They're going to be so excited. Emotionally, they're going to be really tied into. So imagine 500 people at this event. And out of the 500, you just have 100 out of the 500 that decide, hey, listen, I'm going diamond. I'm going diamond. That's 100 diamonds. That's 100 diamonds. They do it over the next 12 months to 18 months. That's 100 diamonds in your organization. So decisions are made at big events. So every call that I was doing, every sit down that I was doing, every meeting that I was doing, I was constantly talking about how many people are you going to have at the major event. But I made the investment as well. So whether you get 5 tickets, 10 tickets, whatever it is, you do that in order to make sure that you've got the wood. You got to add the wood. All right. In order to get the fire, you've got to be the one to put the wood in the fireplace.
Absolutely, bro. So going back to again when you was in the field, like, did you only look for builders or did you also look for customers as well? Me and Sir was talking about this earlier, and she was, we was talking about like, don't just look for builders. So when you was quote unquote recruiting, was you only builders for you, or was you calling people saying, hey, I just be a customer, like, and then converting a customer to the builder? Like, how did that all work out for you?
Listen, the way you want to build your network, you've got to be customer orientated. All right. So my goal starting out, I wanted to have my own 10 customers. Right. Was I focused on building the business? Absolutely. Was I focused on bringing on and developing leaders? Absolutely. But I made sure I had my customers. I made sure I had at least 10 people that were buying product from me every single month. And then I taught the team to make sure they had at least 10 customers. Some people will have more than 10 customers. Some people may have 20, some people have 30, some people have 50. But the goal was to have everybody have at least 10 customers that were purchasing 3 boxes, right? For us, it was 3 boxes of coffee. That was the goal. So here it's 3 sprays. I want to have at least 10 customers buying 3 sprays from me every single month. That's the goal. But while I'm doing that, you got to be able to walk and chew bubble gum. So yes, I'm getting customers, but I'm also building my network, developing leaders, and also attracting leaders. You're going to need to develop leaders in order to attract leaders, because leaders are attracted to other leaders. And you can only be a great leader if you're great at developing people into leadership. So every single day, yes, I'm working on building my customer base, right? Yes, I'm teaching my organization to build their customer base, but simultaneously, I'm also building the network, developing new leaders, and attracting new leaders into my business.
Awesome. Awesome. Hey, Sarah, Kamar, one of you guys have a question?
I've got a question. So, bro, first of all, again, man, this is good. You can never hear this information too many times. You can never hear this information too many times. I'm taking notes as if it's the first time I've ever heard it. And it leads me to my question. And so I know a lot of times it's very easy in our profession for people to get fixated on personal development, and they postpone the activity, knowledge, And so can you speak to us on that?
Yeah. That happens quite a bit. People, personal self-development junkie, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. And you're gaining a lot of knowledge. Probably you think you're gaining faith, but faith without works is dead. So you can hear the word, you can hear the personal self-development, but if you don't actually go and apply it, it means nothing, right? And there's a lot of people like that, unfortunately, right? They know all the quotes, they done read all the books, they listen to all the audios, but what they're missing, what they really have is fear. It's fear of failure. So you know what I'll do, Kamal? I want to sound like I'm successful. Because if I sound like I'm successful, then you won't really look at my results. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm really afraid to go out there and lay it on the line. I'm really afraid because, man, is it really going to work for me? So let me just sound good. Let me just look good versus being good. Does that make sense? So when you notice that about someone, I don't think it's necessarily something you beat up on them. You just say, hey, listen, listen, I love the fact that you really love personal self-development. I love personal self-development too. But there's another part that we've got to fall in love with too, and it's the action. So let's sit down, let's go over your calendar, and let's see how we can carve out where you're showing the plan at least 4 times a week. Let's see if we can carve out in your calendar where you're at least prospecting 2 to 5 people per day. You do that along with the personal growth that you have, man, you're going to see the growth in your business really take place. But if you just do the personal self-development, you don't have this calendar matching that up, it's going to be very, very hard. It's going to be very, very hard for you to get to where it is you want to go. And I want to help you get to where you want to go. You want to get there, right? Yeah, I want to get there. All right. So let's carve out the time to where we're going to take the information that we're learning and we're going to apply it through action. But see, that's where leadership comes into play. That's why number 4 was what? Work ethic. So I can't just have belief, right? And be speaking it and seeing it and feeling good, right? But I don't have the work ethic, right? I can't just keep speaking it, believing, feeling good, seeing it, but I got no integrity, right? I can't have integrity. I can't work, right? Do the work, but I'm not speaking it. I'm not seeing it. You need all of it. You need all of it. If I'm going to make a peanut butter jelly sandwich, I'm going to need bread, I'm going to need peanut butter, and I'm going to need jelly. If I don't have one of those 3, I don't have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I probably just got peanut butter, or I probably just got jelly, or I just got some bread, or I got bread and jelly. I need all 3. So you need the belief principles, you need the leadership principles in order to create the success that you're looking for. So if you're on this call and you love personal self-development, I don't want you to stop loving it, but that calendar, That's when we sit down. I'm not going to talk to you about how many books you read. I'm not going to talk to you about how many audios you listened to. That's great. I'm going to talk to you about this calendar. Let me see your calendar. Does your calendar match what you say you believe? If it doesn't, then we got to reevaluate what it is that you believe.
Solid.
So did you ever have, when you ever sat down with somebody and they had other things going on, other businesses, other hobbies, quote unquote, or whatever, like how would you coach them into building a business? Like, is it still possible for them to build a huge business in the company if they're working on other things? Do you believe that, or does somebody got to be 1,000% in both feet in what we're doing, and they can't be doing anything else outside of what we're doing? What's your belief on that?
No. Of course. People, there are a lot of people that have built great businesses part-time.
Mm-hmm.
But just because I'm part-time doesn't mean I'm not 1,000% in. You know what I mean? Because if I can only work the business 10 hours a week, guess what? I'm 1,000% in, 10 hours a week. I don't have to do the business 80 hours a week, 40 hours a week for me to be all in. I'm all in with the activity that I'm doing and the hours that I've allocated to my business. Now, if you will not find the hours to allocate to your business, then you don't want to do the business. It's that simple. You see what I'm saying? Like, if I want to go swimming, I got to find the time to go to the pool. If I want to go champion, if I want to go sapphire, if I want to go diamond, I've got to find the time to share my products, share the services, share the opportunity with other people for them to buy, for them to get started. It's simple. It's not really that complicated. So I don't say people, hey, you got to be all in. You can't do nothing else. No. People have jobs. People have other businesses. But being all in is not the amount of hours. Being all in is what you do with the hours. See what I'm saying? I'm going to show the plan 4 times a week. I'm going to show the plan 5 times a week. I'm going to prospect 2 to 5 people per day. Anyone can do that. Anyone, 6 nights a week, anybody can do that. A presentation is an hour. Max 2 hours. So if you're showing the plan 5 times a week, that's 10 hours. If you do 2 hours, all in all, that's 10 hours right there, right? Prospecting 2 to 5 people per day, I do that. You can do that in your sleep. You can do that just living your life. You can do that on social media. You can do that. You go to the grocery store. You do that, or you go to the gas station. You can do that anywhere. 2 to 5. With technology today, you don't even have to go out of your house to prospect 2 to 5 people per day. You can do that right from the comfort of your home. But showing the plan, guess what? I don't even have to leave my home now. Now you can do it on Zoom, right? But it's developing yourself, being consistent with the activity, believing, right? Not changing the address. What happens is the right people start to come your way. The right situations start to come your way because of what you're believing, because of what you're speaking and what you're seeing and what you're feeling. And then you got to do the work to back that up. And the work is not, it doesn't have to be 40 hours a week. You don't have to do the work that I do. You just have to be consistent with whatever work you said you can do. I'm not going to give you the schedule. You set the schedule, and then you have to be consistent with that schedule. And over time, the results will be there.
Absolutely. Appreciate that. So Sarah, did you have any questions?
No, but I did want to chat. One of the things that really stuck with me when we finished the Vegas event was you didn't know how it all was going to come about. You just knew that it was going to come. And I feel like a lot of people, their biggest block is fear and doubt. How do you help people become unleashed from those feelings that are literally blocking them from abundance and being a blessing to someone else? How do you help people get over themselves?
I don't help people get over themselves. Yeah, I don't do that. That sounds out of my wheelhouse.
Well, how do you help them with the belief Like, because you say things like when I'm tuning into you and it just like hits. So how leaders, how can we help them navigate through that process when they know it, you know it, but how do you help them work through that process? Or is it just something they just have to go through?
So the key thing is for you to, it's funny, I'm going to say your quote is for you to continue to be the light. You don't know when it's going to click for them. You don't know when the light bulb is going to happen. If I knew how to do that, you know what I mean? Like, we'd have did $100 million the first month. Does that make sense? So it's not anything you personally do. You have to continue to be the example of belief. But one thing I will never do, all right, and I'm gonna leave you guys with this. There's one thing I will never, ever, 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 ever do. I will never stop believing in you. You could take forever in believing in yourself, but I will never stop believing in you. So whenever it clicks for you, I would have already been there. My belief in you will stay at 100. It'll stay at 1,000. It'll stay at 1,000,000,000. I don't care what happens. I don't care if you quit. I don't care if life hits you. No, I will never, ever, ever, ever stop believing in people. And I think that is the biggest thing you can do for anyone else, is to be a constant source of belief. Because I'm fully persuaded, eventually, I don't know when, you're going to be fully persuaded as well. Okay. And I tell people, I don't sell you on a spray or a course. I sell you on you. That's my job. My job is to sell you on you. I want you, by the time you leave me, I want you to believe in you more than ever before. And through the process of time, right, you're going to have your own awakening. And that belief that's needed, guess what? It may have happened on this call for somebody. You know what I'm saying? It may have happened on this call. Maybe it happened on Sunday with John. I don't know. But that's why you keep showing up. You keep showing up. You don't know when it's going to hit for them, but eventually it will.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate your time, David, man. I know you're busy, man, and I know you've been tired. I know you're probably tired. Sarah said last night, how does he not have jet lag? I'm like, Sarah, I don't ask him questions. I don't know. He just has a different level, different mindset of work. I don't know how he does it. It's just in him, I guess. But man, I appreciate your time, man, and all your wisdom that you shared with us tonight, man. And wasn't taken for granted, man. I told them let's pack this call out in case we want to have you on again in the future. You'll be on with us, man. So again, man,
Absolutely.
thank you a million times over, bro, for everything you've done. So you guys, let's get some fire in the chat from Mr. David Imonitie, guys, some 777s, some fires,
David.
all that, guys. Appreciate
champion
you, bro,
this
man.
month. Everybody on this call, minimum champion this month. Hey, Roddy, make sure everybody creates that flyer. If they're not a champion, whatever their rank is, whatever the next rank they're going for, guys, create the flyer. Create the flyer. Make that your screensaver on your phone. Watch what happens. All right?
Awesome. Appreciate you guys. Our time is over for our team call office hours. We'll be here again next Tuesday, same bat time, same bat channel. And I'll see you guys again next Tuesday, guys. Y'all have a blessed night. Talk to you soon.